Hello Taurus, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, but today we will do the financial philosophical card reading for your sign. As always, we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Taurus for the month of November. And these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart and for some of you on your time of birth. These basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. The 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are directly connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So, Taurus, here we go for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of November. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of November. The first card here that we see here is our monthly payments. We all have them, our monthly payments, meaning telephone bill, internet bills, insurances, magazine subscription. We all have them, these recurrent and systematic payments. So we pay, probably most of us pay little attention to them. Anyway, also we need to add here that a large proportion of the people don't even notice when these expenses are increasing. Some of us signed in during promos, and we as informed customers, when these time-limited offers end, we don't double check when this offer is ending. So this card tells you to pay attention to those time-limited discounts and keep track of the expiration for your promos. If these are expired, call your internet company, call your telephone company to take advantage of certain new discounts. If you have an insurance portfolio and it's a very long time since you reviewed them, check them or seek the advice of brokers here. Check your annual and monthly expenses on your bank accounts. Check what you pay for your withdrawals of money. Compare the rates to other banks. If you see and you're surprised what is your annual bank expenses, then you could consider internet banking. A lot of those internet banks are connected to solid banks, but they are much cheaper. Why? Well, because they are independent, they have no staff, so they have no expenses. So the annual expenses are very low. Mostly you pay only for your credit cards, and you pay a very small amount if you withdraw. Also, you should compare between those internet banks, because also those have different rates. But if you go for internet banking, whatever this internet bank is, don't be surprised if you compare it to your bank that you save $1,000 to $2,000 or euro a year. This is very common and very normal. So this can save you a serious amount of money on year basis. So anyway, here we need to see that all these small amounts and some big amounts amount up here, and you will be surprised what you save on an annual basis. So calculate everything and accumulate everything and check what you have there, and you will be very happy to deposit this in your savings accounts. Anyway, the second card that we have here is the card of our credit cards, the use of our credit cards here. And this card asks you how do you rate the use of your credit cards? Do you think you use them in a good way, in a bad way? This card asks you the question to make the balance of. So here this card says, for instance, if you use your credit card, do you use all your advantages? Because sometimes if we use credit cards, we get advantages. So you should check if you have advantages here. For instance, this is point flying miles or whatever. It depends on the bank here, what we are having here. The other side of credit cards is if we use several, if we have a credit card that charges us high interests, maybe you have one like that. Most probably, likely it's the one who always gives you money, even though it's very low already. The other side of the coin is that they charge you enormous interest. These cards that always give you money even if you are very low balance, these are the sharking cards. You need to be very careful with those, because don't be surprised if they charge you 20–30% on your balance here. So if you have overdue accounts like that, please, this card asks you to neutralize them, put them on zero. If you cannot do this in one time, do this in small amounts to get balanced out. And if you can, please get rid of these cards. This card says, because it's not very positive for your mental state of mind, and also for your financial state of mind, because these things, they really shark you. Anyway, you should, as we mentioned in the earlier, you should consider then maybe taking the more traditional bank cards, or go for internet banking, as we mentioned earlier. Anyway, the thing is here about these cards is that we use our credit cards in a wise way, and manage them in a positive way. Then the last card is about certain amounts of money that we are spending, especially on holidays, or on also on things like Christmas, Easter, or Valentine. Most of us forget what these holidays are about. For instance, Christmas has become not a religious festival anymore, but this is turned into a commercial circus. The question is not anymore if we buy something. The question is how much we can control ourselves. Of course, it's nice we receive a small gift of chocolate during Valentine's Day. This is not what it's about, but it's about the abundance that we are doing here. For instance, after we do our Christmas shopping, the next month the invoice comes, we get the receipts of our credit cards, and we see the horror of January there. So this card tells you, remember why this festival exists. Learn about the origin of Christmas, Easter, and Valentine. Inform yourself, even if it's your belief or not. You will see these things have a historical context, and it's totally different than abundance. Anyway, this card wants us to prevent from overconsumption. Don't let yourself guide by marketing, advertising during the holidays. These holidays are meant to be an expression of feelings. It's not about how much we buy or what price we buy. It's the attention that we give to the loved one. And as we all know, the most precious gift that we can give to the people around us is our time, because nobody has time anymore. And I'm sure if you give the people around you a few days additional holiday or of your time, they are very much happy here, or they are very happy because you spend time with them, because that is the most precious gift that you can give them. Anyway, for this group, this is all for now for the water group. I hope you enjoyed this card reading a little bit, Taurus. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other three short card readings that are connected here. Check out also the short Lenormand love card readings we do now each month for your sign, and of course the extensive Lenormand card read that are very detailed for you each month. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in the other card readings. Thank you, and bye-bye for now. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of November. As the first card here, we see the card of inheritance. This card tells us that we need to be very careful if we calculate on our inheritance or things or monies that we are receiving from other people. This card tells us to be independent. Anyway, this card tells you also not to be fooled. Don't be utopian, because it's not really smart to incalculate this for your old days, because we never know in our life what is going to happen, unless that your parents are already very unfit. It's not wise to do so. And also we need to add here, if we add inheritance in our calculations, we never know if we are the sole heir of our parents. and we are not sure till they give their last breath, and then we need to wait till the lawyer or the notary, they read the will. So don't make that mistake. This card tells us also we need to incalculate that life expectancies have exploded over the past decades. It's not abnormal anymore that people get into their 80s very easy. They live longer than their ancestors. And as people get older, they may gradually need more money and their savings for services suited for their survival conditions. And of course, we cannot blame them. Secondly, we have the issue here that every individual has the right to change their testimonial disposition at any time. And we never know that our mother or father, they will not succumb to the young Venus living next door, or Cupid they met on the internet now. And maybe they decide to favor this person or this girl for the expense of the descendants. So we need to be very careful if we are expecting money from other people or from our parents. Of course, an inheritance, it can be a plan of, for instance, a retirement analysis, but we need to be very careful with doing this. So this card tells you, try to be independent, plan your old days independent from this, and you are already a winner before you started. The second card is about the value of small money. Nobody cares anymore about small coins that are in our wallet or in our pockets. And this card tells you to pay attention to small amounts of money. As we know, a lot of small coins make one big bill. Here we see with this card that a lot of people don't realize the financial impact from spending small amounts on the long run. For example, even if expenses are not that big, you should think about it, give it your sincere attention, take a critical look at certain invoices, if they are bigger or smaller. Also, don't go into discounts from the type, everything is discounted here. This puts our money in a kind of depreciation here that we are seeing here. Every coin is from great importance here. This card tells us. So the next time that you visit a store, maybe before you go to the cashier, rate what you have bought, see if all the articles that are in your basket, if you really need them, if they are absolutely necessary, see how many luxurious goods that you bought. Maybe this is a sign that you are not valuing the small amounts of money or smaller bills. Maybe it's also a sign that you are a little bit overspending, that you don't value the money anymore. So this card tells you to give back the value to the little coins, because the small amounts mount up to hundreds, the hundreds mount up to thousands, and you know how to calculate, you know where I'm going here with this. If you do so, you will quickly accumulate serious amounts of money that you maybe can invest in a pension fund here or in savings. The last card here is it's visual reminders. For instance, we all use a lot of credit cards. Most of us don't use cash money anymore. There are a few, but not too many people anymore pay cash. And this card tells us if we are using our credit card always for payments, it's possibly the possibility here that we pay without paying attention to it. We no longer see the distinction between the necessities. It's close connected here to the other card. And we don't see the importance anymore from certain items in our basket. If you are in a financial more unstable situation, this card tells you to stop over consuming, as the other card says here, and put this in investment funds. This card reading is very focused here on saving small amounts of money for this group and put it in pension funds or in savings. I'm only reading what is here. Anyway, this card, the last card here, tells you that you should validate your shopping and you should only buy what is essential here. If you buy a lot of stuff online, try to change your passwords before you pay. It will make you think. For instance, you change your password in something like reasonable or necessary. Such a password, it makes you think twice before you make the transaction here. Of course, you will need to change these visual aids periodically because your brain and your eyes get used to it on the long run, and you pay less attention to those things here, what we are doing. And a good way also for minimizing your expenses is paying cash, because if we pay cash, we hand over the money and it gives a pain impulse to our brain, and it sometimes prevents us from buying. So it's also the old-fashioned way is sometimes the best way, especially with money. We are more careful if we pay cash because we actually see the money disappearing out of our wallet. So be creative, pay cash, or administer small visual reminders on your credit card, maybe with something that makes you think. The visual reminder, it can be whatever makes you think that you're gonna spend here. So in that way, you can prevent that you spend money that is not really necessary. So Cancer for the, Taurus for the air group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading for Taurus don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, check out also our monthly love card readings, the short love card readings that we do now with Lenormand. This is the other cards. Anyway, also the extensive card readings that we do each month for the sign of Taurus that you are already familiar with, who are very detailed. Anyway, I want to thank you for the time you spend on my channel, and I'm sure we see each other in my other card readings. Thank you and bye-bye for now. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to the Stone or the Earth group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of November. The first card that we see here is the card of bankruptcy. What does this mean? Well, probably you're not in an easy financial situation. It's possible that this is due to overuse of credit cards. Maybe you bend for the social pressure, but I will explain myself more clearly what this means. The first card is quite clear what it means. It means that you are in a very difficult situation financially. Maybe you wake up at night, you don't know what to do financially. Maybe you have certain deficits in your accounts here. If you have your own business, maybe you should consider a bankruptcy specialist here. This is what we are seeing. But before we start this, and especially before we sign any form of agreement with those bankruptcy specialists, you need more than a consultant, of course, or than a professional. You need to evaluate your choices that are offered for you, the advantages, the disadvantages. Make sure that you understand, if you go in such contracts, the process that is going on here and the impact that will have on your future. Probably if you go in such a deal, you will need to radically change your consumption habits. This is what we are seeing here. However, if you are a private person or you did not reach the point yet of Saturnation, this card is like a last warning. If you are a private person and you have serious financial difficulties, for instance, you can think about going to a social assistant, maybe somebody who is specialized in financial difficult situation. I'm sure there's one in your neighborhood here who is available, maybe a community person here. This is what we can do also for helping or letting ourselves help financially. Anyway, this points whatever group you belong to of the 2 here, we need to modify our behavior probably with this card here. So if you are not yet there, it means that you are coming to a difficult financial situation here, and that you should seriously think about changing your habits. Maybe this is about overuse of credit card, or you bend for the financial pressure, for the social pressure that we have around us. What does that mean? Well, everybody around us, they drive around in nice cars, they have the latest clothes, they have the latest gadgets, phones, cell phones, and you, for your part, you ask yourself, how do these people do that? But this card tells you not to compare your situation with the situation of somebody else. And also it's important that we realize that what appears to be nice and beautiful, it's not always so. Sometimes it points to people that have financial difficulties themselves, or they are in a very difficult, different situation that you are. They have financially better means. Anyway, this points probably, even if you want these things, maybe your financial situation is very different compared to other people. So don't compare yourself to your neighbors, friends, relatives. Everybody has his specific financial situations. We make choices every day, and we are responsible, solely responsible for these choices. So don't let other appearances of other people fool you. Use your money wisely if you are in financial difficulties. If you specifically need something, like for instance, for your housekeeping, you need a microwave or whatever, a small gadget. Try to check secondhand websites, for instance. A lot of nice things are for sale there. Sometimes the warranty is even connected. It's not yet finished, the warranty. Sometimes the invoices are with the packages still closed. So check websites if you really need something for your housekeeping. You can save a lot of money also that way. This card tells us to live according to our own needs and our abilities. So we need to define our own person here and our own accomplishment. We are not supposed to compare us with other people or bend for social pressure of friends or people around us. The last card is related to the use of our credit cards. What does this card mean? Well, it wants you to rate the use of your credit card. Is this good or bad? Also, this card tells you if you use your credit card in a positive way, meaning that you need to see that you have all the advantages of your credit card. Some credit cards give points, discounts, so you need to use them, these advantages. And if you're in a different condition here, probably if your credit card would be in a negative balance, you should consider of changing cards. Maybe you have some credit cards that charge you enormous interests. If you have those credit cards and you're not for sure which one is charging you those high interests, mostly they are not difficult to find. You can check it by checking your monthly invoices, but mostly it's the card who always gives you money. Don't be surprised if they charge you 20 to 30% monthly if your balance is below zero. This is very common with these credit cards. These are no longer credit cards, they are sharks. These people are very happy if you go below zero because they make money. They make a lot of money and you make them smile if you are in that situation. So if you have overdue accounts here with certain cards, just try to balance them out. Try to get rid of these very expensive cards before your situation get any worse here. Here we need to think wisely about the use of our cards for getting out of our difficult financial situation. So think wisely if you use credit cards, especially the ones with the high interest. So Cancer, for the Stone Group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this philosophical card reading. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are directly connected here for the Cancer sign. Please check out also the short love readings that we now do with Lenormand for the love card, and also of course the card readings that you are already familiar with, the extensive Lenormand card readings that we do each month for your sign. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, for your attention, and I'm sure we see each other in my other card readings. Thank you and bye-bye for now. I'm sorry, this card reading we just did before was, of course, for the sign of Taurus. I made a mistake here. Taurus, thank you for watching. I was mistaken with the signs. This was a short reading for the sign of Taurus. Thank you. Sorry for the mistake. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to the Fire Group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of November. The first card that we see here is this card advises us to pay cash only. Why is that? Well, if we pay cash, this is a different situation compared to we pay with credit card. Why? Well, it's the the mental difference that is different, the psychological difference that we have here. I'm going to explain this, how this works. If we pay cash and we have the money in our wallet, we get the money out of our wallet and we see the amount of money it's getting less. And every time we hand it over to the cashier, it brings a pain response in our brain. And that is the intention of this card. It wants you to control your finances more by stimulating this financial pain in your brain, because if we pay with cards, we have no sense at all. We just hand over the credit card and it goes from the account. We don't even flinch. We don't think. The money goes off the card, and only at the end of the month, and even not then, we realize that we have paid. So this card wants you to go the old-fashioned way. Go to the bank machine, withdraw the money and put it in your wallet. Why does this card want us to do that? Well, it wants us to save money. Of course, if bank institutions had their wet dream, they would eliminate paper money. Why? Well, we are living in a society where overconsumption and consumption is constantly increasing, and for them, virtual payment is essential. Why? Because it makes you lose track of your expenses, as I mentioned earlier. So this card tells you to take charge of your wallet, pay cash for all your purchases for 1 month, and you will see by the end of the month, in general, there is a difference. So this card asks you if you want to take that challenge. The second card is the irregularities that are happening in our life, or we need to prepare ourselves for the bad times, but in a positive way then, of course. So no matter in what area or what period of our life we are, there are always rainy days, there are storms. And even when it comes to money, it's unrealistic that we don't need to prepare ourselves for irregularities in life. So this card asks you if you have a rescue plan, a safety cushion. Did you foresee the unforeseen, the unpredictable? The card is about that we never know what will happen or when it will happen. So this card asks you, are you ready to face financial turmoil, sudden disruptions? Did you prepare for that? And how did you prepare? For instance, it's also about insurances. Do you have insurance on your life? Is your income stable? Is your car well maintained? This is what this card is about. It's about stability among us here. This is what it's about. Also, it's about savings, because you see the pig here. The pig wants to protect himself. The question is here that this card also asks you, do you spend all your money? Can you survive a serious pay cut if this would occur? So this card wants us to reflect over all these things and the things we cannot foresee. So it wants you to act in control of these things, and if necessary, if you can foresee the unforeseen, because we never know what is coming. The next card is the card of accomplishments. Probably it means that you are slowly increasing in your life financially, and it's by small action that we do day by day. We work on ourselves, we work hard, and with small modest victories, with small accomplishments, we go towards a more successful life financially. Also, this card tells you not to compare yourself to others, but see the positive transformations that you have been able to apply so far. And also it asks, like the other card here, if you have a long-term plan, can you make some changes, some improvements? Are there things in your life that need to be changed? So these two cards, they are no coincidence here that they are next to each other, because actually we have 2 times similar questions here. Again, here we asked if there are things to need to be changed. Are there things that are no longer working in your environment? If they are, please modify them. Of course, it's by small changes that we come into these successes of life here. It can make a difference. In your own eyes, it will make a difference and you will improve. So this card also tells you the other side. Appreciate progress that you have made so far. And if you see that you are prepared for the unforeseen and for the small achievements that you made so far, and you pay cash, you will improve here with this card reading. So, Taurus, for the fire group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. I want also to mention that we do now short love card readings with Lenormand, not with this deck, with the Lenormand card reading, and of course the traditional Lenormand card readings that you are already familiar with that we do each month for your sign. They are very extensive and very detailed. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time you spend on my channel, and I'm sure we see each other in my other readings. Thank you for now, and bye-bye.